Hello, Professor. So talking about lab number 5, which is the keypad lab, it's a little complicated, but in short, we usually deal with input and output pins. But for this lab, we'll be dealing with something called open drain. And we'll set our output pins on the keypad to be open drain, which are our rows. So we'll either send out a 0 or a logic 0 or Z out for our rows. And then our input, which would be our column pins, would be set to inputs with a pull-up resistor. Okay. Looking at the code, we will be using the EZTIVA library for our LCD module. And now, kind of the goal for the lab is that if we are to press a button and hold it, it'll only print out once. So here, this is from the source code given to us, basically meaning if we press the star, it'll multiply our output times 100. If we use the pound sign, it'll clear out the LCD screen. What we are more interested in this is line 51. That's we are printing out the numbers 0 to 9. Okay, so this is our two-dimensional array, and this is the same thing that we have from our keypad. Now, the lines that code directly beneath that are when we are addressing the mask, and as you can tell, we are referring to these as the pointers that are the rows and columns. Now, what we do is we'll set one row to 0, and then the rest will be set to Z. And that is then in the GPIO. And we continue doing this. Now, if, say that row 1 is logic 0, which is an output, and then all the other rows are logic Z, if we get a reading that C1 was pressed, right, so equals 0, meaning logic 0, because if button 1 is pressed, we will be reading 0. We will be printing out whatever row was pressed 0. 0 because the first column in the array will be 0, right? Because you'll index an array from 0, not starting at 1, but at 0, and so on and so on. So now showing you, continuing the code that is of utmost importance for this is here. So if key equals pre-key, well, pre-key above, we initialize it to be a static integer, and we initialize it at 0. What this is saying is that if our previous key is different from our current key, then just update the previous key. But if they are the same, you're going to return nothing. So if I show you here, let me restart it. I'm printing out 0, I've pressed nothing. If I press 1, I'm holding it, only it's only registering is that I pressed it once. I'm going to be pressing 5 and I'm going to hold it. It's only showing an output that I pressed it once. And that is all. Thank you so much, Professor. Have a good rest of your day.